Indeed, a special episode actually of Warriors Anonymous. We've got the podcast going. B, it's also a Teamsday episode as we're going to run through the team lineups for this coming match against the Manly Warring Sea Eagles. And also it's even more than that, more than usual Teamsday. We normally do that on Tuesday. We're a bit late this week, so we're going to do the 24-hour cut down version of Teamsday. So so exciting because we'll have a little bit more clarity about who is playing. Jared Cronin, Moneta Sauce, and Daniel Whakakuta joining you for this one. Boys, are we how is we hanging in there after the Dolphins game?
To be honest, I just realised we're playing tomorrow night. So I'm actually kind of happy, randomly, because it's like, 24 hours. Oh, yeah, we're playing tomorrow.
Kind of like a distant memory. You know, it's kind of like, and now you just kind of look forward to what could happen tomorrow, especially with a number of key people coming back.
That's right. It's the some memories are best suppressed, but we'll see how we get on as we run through the Teamsday lists. All right, here is the Manly Warring the Sea Eagles. Get out of here, you. Okay, that's all we need to see how that. Onto other things. We've got a picture of Latrell Mitchell getting crowned the new king of cocaine, which is great. Into the teams. Starting with Chance Nickel Klukstad at fullback again. Ooh, people are talking about that. Onto the wings. Right wing will be Dallin Watine Zelezniak. Yes. And onto a bit of a returning theme.
Oh.
He's back. I don't know what you heard about Adam Pompey, but he is back. The POMP is in the number
popular
3.
demand.
That's right. Lots of people have been calling for him, which has been kind of strange. In the other centre spot, number 4 is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. So, interesting to see how those boys coexist. Another comeback as well in the number 5 jersey is Marcelo Inigo Montoya, making a little bit of a welcome return. It's like getting the band back together again this week, boys. So, exciting indeed. Also exciting, get ready for this, Lukey Met comes into the starting lineup. He is the late change at the 24-hour cut down. So he's going to be wearing jersey 21, playing at 5'8", alongside, the old boy, doing his farewell tour, Sean Johnson, after his recent stalking episode from Daniel. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well as we get into the podcast. Into the forward pack, number 8 is Eden Fanua-Blake. Steady as. Next to him, we've got a little bit of a change here as well. In the number 14 jumper, who'll be coming into the starting lineup is the Manawave himself, Freddie Lussick. I'm going to say that properly for our audio listeners. Freddie Lussick will be starting at hooker, and also the joining him in the front row is the number 10, Mitch Barnett, the captain, also. Looking good. Second row, you've got Hakuna Marata Nukore. He's wearing number 11 on that right edge, and on the left-hand side, playing some nice little footy at the moment. So he's stuck into a couple of people for not being where they should be on the in the Dolphins game. Number 12 is Kurt Capewell, not Cape Kurtwell as we list them often. Number 13 is Dylan Walker. He ain't leaving. Don't worry, people. It's been addressed a few times, and he's definitely staying for next year, so that's all good. Onto the bench. Been waiting for this one to happen. And our man, Chanel Harris-Tavita. Chanel number 6. He's going to be wearing number 6, but also coming from the bench. So some impact coming from him. Number 15 is Tom Ale. A little bit empty without Isaac here to do the "Hey, must be Tom Ale" thing, although he didn't do it last time. He was too sad. Number 16 is Jazz Tevanga on the farewell tour as well. Oh dear, starting to get a bit emotional. That's all right. 17 alongside him is the demigod himself, Dimitri Sifakola. Sort of beautiful try against the Dolphins. The old spin, the spin button like on Madden. And to the 18th man is number 20, the Danger Mouse, Tain Tuopiki. Are you ready for action if he's required? And of course, the head coach is the one and only Andrew Webster, poor old Webby.
That definitely is him this year. Hey, I would have not said that would have been last year, but this year that is definitely him.
Yeah, poor old Webby's been. I guess it's been a learning experience, shall we say. First off, boys, I guess the big talking point that everyone's going to be all juiced about is the fact that, we've got a whole new halves combination coming in this week, essentially. Sean is back, hopefully this week. And in the number 6 jersey is Luke Metcalf, a long time return from him. Moneta, how excited are you to see the boys back at it?
No, I'm really excited to see them back. I mean, that's all I could really say. I mean, like, didn't see much of him in the New South Wales Cup, but he looked pretty sharp with some of the passes he put forward and so forth. But yeah, I think it should be good, and and interesting to see Montoya back. It should be good. I actually missed him, and same with Pompey. You know, like what I said. Never thought I'd say I miss him quite a bit, especially with the kicks. And then I'm still up in the air about like the fullback position and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, so C and K. Those two, I don't think there has to be some hard questions for next season, I think.
Yeah, that's right. It is another big talking point. Daniel is the fullback spot. Webby's holding firm with his selections. Really, he's saying, "Look, we're going to go full bore at trying to win these next 3 games." So he's gone with his strongest lineup that he's got. How do you see the fullback position heading towards the end of the year and into next year?
Oh, it's just it's a tough one, really. It can go either way. I think he's relying on the fact that he feels that Chance gives him better defensive coverage from sort of numbers in the line perspective, and also perhaps with Roger being a Ferrari, right? You don't want that extra kind of meter coverage across field and running back a lot as well. So I don't know. It kind of, part of you thinks when Chance is not there, it makes that decision easy, right? To put Roger back there as well. So it's super tricky. It's super hard. How do you fit 2 good players into the team? But yeah, something they're going to have to really look long and hard at in the off season, because you can't have that indecision. You need to be really set. So, but no, that's a good opportunity for Chance just to kind of re-establish that he is still the guy. And hopefully we can find some space for Roger, because you just look at Herbie Farnworth, mate. He was unstoppable, I know different shape than Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. What kind of gave me hope is that Rocco's got some Herbie vibes for me. So when Rocco's back, that's probably how your centre wants to play. Roger's just awesome. Roger's Roger, although missed out on a couple of things. But I wanted to make a point on Luka Mikiafu, Luki Met, to come back, and he really has kind of put out there that he wants 7, right? So getting him back in the team. This is the original pairing too. That would start the season with. We're back to what the halves combo would have been. So just want to see Lukey get through this, and then be able to really establish himself for 7 next year.
Yeah, good call, Warwick. Good call. I understand as well. Last week, there was a bit of chat around Sean Johnson and your low-key kind of stalking of him at the netball, which he verified on his own podcast. He mentioned that someone had come up to him and used the exact words that you had said to him, saying he's the man, which is great. I understand as well. You made a little bit of a mention that you might have had a change of heart, just like the good old dating show, about Sean Johnson and his place as potentially the greatest warrior ever. Has that sort of solidified in your own mind?
Yeah, I think I just reflected on what you said, bro. Like, his highlight reel is phenomenal, but also the amount of time he single-handedly just won games for us. But don't be wrong, Mannering, grit, tough, resilient. Stacey Jones, equally as celebrated, within the rugby league community in New Zealand. But yeah, there's something about Shawnee, the longevity of the career, the numbers he put out, what he's done on, at the highest level in the game as well. Obviously, the only thing to elude him really is a premiership. But when it's come to higher honours as well, he's been integral for the Kiwis too. So yeah, I did think I had a bit of a change of heart really. And I also think that there was elements of his comparison to being a top tier player within the league as well, within the NRL while he's gone round, So yeah, reflected, and I thought I would change my mind.
Yeah, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I obviously agree. I concur. Moneta, this game coming up. Well, I mean, let's have a little think back, just a little bit of a think back. Maybe slightly traumatic, but our defense against the Dolphins was not where it needed to be. And frankly, we're coming up against the Manly team, which is pretty scary, both in terms of its lineup, the bloody strike power that they've got, and getting kind of flashbacks to the Titans game almost. And also they're pretty good at Brookvale as well. So what are we trying to do to try and get things back on track against the Eagles?
I guess for a starter, we've got first pick in regards to the team. We've got our main starters, and I guess I hate to say it, it's the communication stuff, really. I think it's just the basics, and I know keeping harping on about the basics, but I think that's where we're going wrong. But we're just like trusting each other in regards to the defense. I watched the Bulldogs, and their defense, and they're second best, and they just seem to communicate and just bloody Josh Curran. I just thought about him just then. Bloody how much we miss him. But
I think about him a lot.
Yeah.
Every night and day.
Well, that Wolverine meme, mate. And there's a picture. He's like, yeah. But yeah, I think it's just back down to communication, right?
So many changes though, you talk about we've got our first choice, effectively our first choice back line as well. But there's just been so many different players in and out, and the amount of times the edges have had to come out as well.
That's been the story of our season, right? It's been the injuries. I think I've never remembered a season such as this where we've been hit with injuries like this much, like in key positions too. Like Rocco Perez having a scintillating season and he gets injured. You get Metcalf injured. That's one of our key positions in regards to the halves. And our centres are just like dropping off. And I'm not quite sure about Roger experiment working out. And some of our forwards, Marata was out for a good solid 11 weeks of that kind of beginning of the season. So it's all been hasn't been a consistent team. So yeah, and reflecting, maybe they need to, I don't know, maybe the off season, I don't know, but that's probably something they might have to address for next season. But back down to defense, I think it's just back to communication, and hopefully, this is the nucleus of a team which hopefully can stay put for next year, because we need consistency, and that's what we've lacked. And injuries, players, and defense. Our defense has been not up to par compared to last year, and that's what got us through.
There's been, I guess, at different points, we've stressed the need to celebrate responsibly. And we saw possibly the worst one. We had what ended up being a Category 1 concussion for Ali Leatawa via the knee of Ed Kossi, who was celebrating a try that we didn't even score. But Daniel, bro, that kind of says sort of how this year has gone, does it not?
Oh, very friendly fire. Getting HIA'd from your own player.
Oh, it was a good knee.
It was a great. It was like a clip. Hey,
like, UFC. Oh,
it's low key, sneaky knee. And then to back that up, so first of all, there was a guy running out there that looked like Dimitri Sifikula. I think he ate Dimitri Sifikula, and he is a beast.
Yeah.
But the kid that was there last year playing on the same field, I think got binned. as well.
The old,
That's right.
touch.
Was that against the Eels Magic Round? I think.
the
No, it wasn't.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah,
Panthers.
it was the Cleary jaw.
Yeah, the Clear Jaw. That's right.
He
Panthers.
touched the Cleary jaw.
And then he's huge. He's huge.
Yeah.
But then and then he was like so amped up, right? Like trying to high five with his forehead and was knocked Tamati out. So yes,
and now he's got a neck
celebrate
injury.
responsibly.
Timati. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
But my gosh, I mean, like the kids train like, and I guess there's that growth spurt, but oh my gosh, he is like, he could be, one of our big new middles for next year, right? Like he is just,
He's
he
colossal.
doubles in size again. It's awesome to see.
He's going to come back at 265 kilos next year. Goodness
Awesome.
gracious. He's like, he's almost like one of those creator players, eh? I saw him when he first came back into New South Wales Cup. I think it's like North Sydney about 6 weeks ago, something like that. And I was like you, bro. Like he also had his hair let out as well. So I was just like looking at him like, holy moly, this guy is like, I don't know, he's taken some bloody, I don't know, some of that accelerant grower from like a King's Plant Barn or something like that, like he's just gone. Boop.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, is that going to happen to Leka as well? Like, I mean, is he going to triple in size too?
He's only 18, Leka.
yeah,
It's exciting.
that's right. If you think, if you think back to what kind of physique, this probably doesn't affect Moneta as much. But I think if me and Daniel think back to the physiques that we had when we were 18, it's there's definite room for growth, shall we say? Now Moneta, bro, like it's kind of gotten to the point of the season where I guess a lot of people have sort of, maybe some people have had their fill of what they've seen all year. Kind of felt watching the Dolphins game. I don't know. I've kind of become a little bit numb to it now. But yeah, bro, what's your take? We've still got bloody 3 games to go. So
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think we're going to make the top 8. I think I've kind of resigned to that. But like I said, now we've got a first choice team back on the park. It's kind of like exciting to see what we could do, with our first picks. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think there's still something to play for in regards to developing for next year. I know we always say that, when teams are in the top 8, but yeah, like I said, it comes back down to like we've got our first pick now in terms of players, and let's see how they go. And I'll probably go on what if, only what if, but yeah, I think there's still a lot to watch. I think to see what
despite the result, though, last week, we haven't covered that off. It's good to see them play some footy.
yes,
Mate, they did some stuff which, look, you're going to have a few mistakes here and there, but man, they threw some shots. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, the Dolphins beat us because we couldn't execute. And to be honest, and that's the key reason we couldn't execute kicking in goal, and we had the better chances. We were coming home stronger, and we really should have slotted a field goal. But anyway, like we know that issue, and we need to get that sorted. But it was awesome, man. Like just to come back. Defense was obviously pretty shit early on as well, but far out, when shout out to Chanel, mate, the triple left foot, the kind of cut inside.
Boom, boom, boom.
Like, man,
yeah,
just nice to see, because I think you go back a couple of weeks and we just were too just too like against the Eels. We didn't want to do anything other than one out, try to play some shape as well, and we went nowhere. And it was in that last 10 minutes of that game we went, actually, let's get it out, let's move it around a bit. So I think fans were pretty happy with that. But yeah, they're numb feeling. You're just like, you get less angry at shit that goes wrong, and you get less static when things go right. You're just going to sit in this, I don't know, is it like the friend zone when you're trying to hook up with chick and she's like, and you realise that you ain't got a chance?
it's over.
They stop caring.
It's over. Just move on.
It ain't over till it's over.
Just to your point around structured play, it makes me think is Webster going to think about changing that up in the off season just a bit, because like this year, I think it worked last year because no one expected it from the Warriors, right? Being structured, and we've always been associated with like bit of Warrior ball and flair. But I'm wondering if he's going to try throw in that happy medium going into next season, because I think we kind of need that. I think we've been read quite easily in regards to how we play.
I think there's a balance, like you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. You need to know when to play and not to play. And I think in the past we've been guilty of not knowing what time is what, and we've done stupid shit in the wrong time.
Mm.
And I think they've always talked about the fact that we sometimes weren't footy smart as well. So I think we're learning more of that. Look, yes, we've taken probably a backward step around the fundamentals and like that kind of, I don't know. Go back this time last year, we were pretty good and dominant, and winning was not easy, but winning was a thing, a habit. So, and you just kind of lost that. You lost a few things, and but apart from that massacre we got against the Titans, which I didn't see, and I still haven't seen it, and I never see it in my life until we win a grand final. I feel like we've still been in games. Like now games we've lost by 2-6 points as well. But we feel like we've got fundamentals in place.
Mm.
But it's only like until last week, we could have slightly stronger, more fundamentals, and then get back to throwing something different at the defence. And maybe that's what the secret sauce this year has been. Teams that have a little bit more resilience, but also they can flip the switch a little bit more and play more footy. And Storm actually, to be fair, are a team like that because they've got that kind of no nonsense fundamentals football that Bellamy drills into them. But at the same time, they've got players that can do things, turn on a dime, play what they see. So, what is the saying? We're still shit and losing, but we look better than we used to, but lose.
Yeah, I can wear that. I actually, for my 2 cents as well, and thinking about the whole attacking structure stuff throughout the season, because a lot of the games you watch them and you're like, this is bloody, we're not getting anywhere. Like we're not testing them. They're reading us, blah blah blah. Oftentimes, I've gone back and actually had a review of the game, and actually seen a lot of occasions where we actually had gotten into scoring positions, but we just took the wrong option. We weren't passing to the right guy. There was even, I know we played a lot better against the Dolphins, but when Okosi got his try in the first half, which was a good one, I couldn't help but think, man, I felt like he probably could have had a hat trick by that point in the game, because we had a couple of occasions where we created opportunities. We just didn't get the timing of our pass right, or held it when we should have shifted it, or that kind of thing. And that's kind of been a lot of what's been bugging us, I think, a lot this year as well. We haven't really just taken those opportunities that we have been created from all of the good build-up work. But
a couple of things to that point, I think, as well. And I noticed again, we haven't done the review, and we're probably just chucking the review in now because we've been a bit sloppy, But like Tamaiti would kind of run guys out of space as well. No knock on that, and again, it's not Tamaiti versus Sean. Tamaiti's done some great stuff, but Sean has the ability to kind of hold that line, like straighten. I mean, you run the gauntlet though, and now you've got more protection, but there's a very good chance you're going to get smoked. But hold that line up, and I think I love Dills Walker. He's done a great job, but I think you miss how good Tohu actually is in terms of his ball play, because he can actually hold players as well. So subtle things, which means that I feel like they just kind of could run to the line and defense could slide as well. But versus we've had those two practitioners that have better ways to manipulate the defensive line, which then ultimately gives you that, as you say, crossing over unmarked, just because they played the needle right. But
Tohu's that guy.
It's an endorsement for Tohu. Hey, you still need him.
Tohu's the guy that your girl told you not to worry about. Just all of a sudden, he makes a break or puts someone away, or he's very, very valuable to what we do. Moneta, you obviously been singing the praises of the return of the POMP. Adam Pompey's back. What do you think's going to happen? I know we shouldn't be thinking beyond one game, but I'm going to do it. What do you think happens the following week when Ali clears his HIA from the knee to the head? Who do you think takes that centre spot then?
I still think Pompey's got it. I think he's got that extra arsenal, in terms of kicking. So, we've lost 2 games where we've actually scored more tries than the opposition. And that's where the kicks have actually kind of cost us and put us in a precarious position in terms of golden point. And as Buddha's alluded to, we're not quite good at.
Yeah.
So I think he will stay. And I didn't think he played too badly, even, when he was in centre, So I thought he was okay in defence. He made a couple of games where I thought, oh, God, here we go. Pompey's back from last year, 2 years ago. But, I think he's pretty solid. But, I think he'll block Ali back. Yeah.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I think there was a couple of moments in that game where it got me, right? Like, I'd gone through the game, just been like, fine. Yeah, cool. Whatever's happening is happening, sweet as. And then when we missed first of all, we missed like a conversion, I think it was in the second half, which we should have got. Lost my lollies a little bit. And also when we missed a field goal, which it looked like it was going over. And I sort of like felt myself like get up in my seat, like. So that's how I knew that there was still, a beating heart in there. Even though I've got this icebox where my heart used to be. But Daniel, you've got an alarming stat for for our special teams, I guess you could call them, the drop goal attempts.
Yeah, I don't know if this is completely verified, but I'm just trying to do a tally in my mind from the 3 games this season where drop goals were required. Manly, Bulldogs, Dolphins, and I think we're 0 from 8. I think we're 0 from 8. 2 in the first game, 3 lots. 2 lots of 3 in the last 2 games as well. So, but yeah, I mean, again, not dwelling on it. Execution, I think, is the key thing, and the ability to ice that moment. But it was all set up, and I think enough time. It's just probably a kicking approach issue, But I've also got a bit of a couple of 2 beefs I want to go over from the Dolphins game. Is fucking Cody Nikodima, like where was that form? Don't tell me it just takes Wayne Bennett to bloody cuddle you, mate. Like, come on.
And what about O'Sullivan as well? Add to that.
Well, that's the other part. The last time I saw O'Sullivan kick a drop goal was against his attempt. It was against the Seagulls when the Seagulls were like 0-10 for the start of the season, and we played them back into form. This is 2 years ago. This is so warrior stuff, eh? This is the shit that happens to us. Guys like that. O'Sullivan. And then he was making massive tackles in the middle. I was like, it's O'Sullivan. He's like, oh my gosh. Hats off to the guy, eh? But, he couldn't hit one from 15 out straight in front. It was like the wounded duck, eh? It was one of the worst drop goals. And I think that was even the game when Dylan Walker even clenched his cheek. And RTS was a gentleman and put it up there.
He cramped up.
Well.
Yeah.
But anyway, another beast I got.
But there's a quality. I can't help but definitely agree with those there 100%. Bloody hell, guys. I almost think we should probably I don't know if Wade is any good at drop goals, but I feel like the old Jonas move of getting it to the halfback and sort of like, dummy out and then take it from a dummy half and just kick a drop goal kind of approach might work while the defense is running at our,
I actually thought we don't even try a drop goal, like fake it, because you have more chance of scoring a try. actually. And there's some low-key talk that they might change the rules to not golden point. They might make a golden try.
Well, that's the
You
thing.
can still score a point, drop goal, but you still have to play the rest of the extra time.
Yeah,
But
right.
If a try scored, then it's game over.
See, Moneta, that's one thing I found really interesting about this game. Even old Uncle Wayne, the coach of the opposition, he was saying, "Oh, bloody," he was a bit almost apologetic, like, felt sorry for us for not getting anything from the game because of this, of the current rules, bro. What are you thinking? Are you thinking hard enough for retaining the golden point as it is, or would you prefer to go to more of an extra time type setup?
Oh, I like the idea of golden try. That sounds cool. I'd rather.
What about golden shower?
I was waiting for that.
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Is it after the golden try?
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
It's like the golden snitch.
Oh.
Oh,
And then you go to the golden crown.
Yeah.
oh,
No. I know. Wayne has been a big advocate for changes in terms of golden time, whatever we call it. Now you got me thinking about golden shower. But I think it could be due for a change. I think
Well, it would suit us to change it because we're one of the teams that got the worst record. So
we've got the worst record. But like,
to
say it, that's something of respect and authority. So I agree with him. And hopefully we'll get the better end of it. So there's a bit of selfishness there too.
maybe Wayne could. He'd actually be really good as well. Maybe as the referee's boss. I know Jared would might be slightly aggrieved with me saying that, but he talks a lot of sense. It's just like you gotta factor in a few more things than just employing the rules. Also, iceberg alert. Iceberg ahead, boys. Had a little look at the officials for tomorrow night's game. And we got a badger, potential badger attack in the bunker tomorrow night. So just something to have in the back of your mind, you're
probably gonna get more badge because badge can't ref against Souths or can't ref a South game due to husband badge being in the squad, in the coaching squad. So there's just a little bit more probability that we get more badge.
That's right, which prompted Richie Morgan to put out the call and say, "Hey, can we employ Gavin Badger as well? Just please, can we do it?"
That is just super smart. Just find all the shit refs we hate and then just employ their family members.
Oh, she's not good.
Oh boy. All right. Well, this has been very unstructured. It's actually gone quite well, I think, considering we've gone off no notes whatsoever. So credit to us, boys. Warrior Ball in this episode / Teamsday, the 24-hour cutdown version. Any parting thoughts before we bounce on out of here? I'll start with you, Moneta.
Did you say me?
Yeah. Anything to add? Anything you want to see? Anything you're feeling?
No. I'm just looking forward to tomorrow and seeing our first pick team. I think it's a kind of glimpse into the next year and hopefully better things to come. So I'm still watching you guys, so don't worry, I haven't left. And just to all those other podcasts, we were the ones here from day one when we were crap. So yes, I'll still be there. So
yeah. Except for last week when we had technical issues, but that's all right. Apologies for that, guys. Really, really sorry. If you've carried on joining us this week, we thank you for coming back. We're still here. We're still going. We're still trucking along. We're still breathing. Daniel, anything for you to add, bro, before we jump?
Well, I just realised we're playing tomorrow, so that's a bonus. But it's just remind everyone, it's fucking Manly. Like we hate Manly.
Do we?
There were so many times that put us to the sword.
Isn't that your second favourite thing?
Nah.
Hey.
I never liked it. I liked Manly for a little bit back in the day. But we all know since the grand final, right? They just always pumped us. So it could be it's one of these games. We're going to either lose by 60 or Cherry Evans is going to drop goal and go on point because we've missed 4.
Yeah. With his left foot. because his right foot's
With his
injured,
left
some
neck.
shit like that. Yeah.
He just decides to turn backwards and just puts it
With a giraffe neck.
He does a scorpion drop
from
kick.
off into the lagoon. Here's Stephen Curry, the US game. You saw that.
Now, what's going to happen is they're going to go back and Sean O'Sullivan's going to be there and he's going to drop goal. He's not even in their team. Nah, so yeah, it could be entertaining. It could be, it could be a pumping, but it could be, but yeah, we'll just throw shit around. Worryable.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, I guess, in a couple of weeks as well, we're going to have to probably touch base. We'll probably have to go around the room, to be fair. We'll start with you there, Daniel, when we get to that point. When we have clarity on who's going to make the finals, and we'll have to figure out who's the second team for everyone to follow. So, it's sad but true. Anyways, boys, thanks very much for joining us. Jared Cronin on behalf of Moneta Sauce, Daniel Wharekura, and Isaac Sauce. He's what's he got? He's got the got HIA too. Yeah, he's out with the you got need in the head. Shall we say? The proverbial. Anyways, this has been Warriors Anonymous / Teamsday, the 24-hour cut down. Been a great little occasion. Quite exciting actually for us at this point of the season to do something different. Thanks very much for joining us. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Up the Waz. And go the Warriors. And also,
Can they start Toby Crosby? Can he play?
and also, especially go to the New South Wales Cup team because they're right in the mix. Come on, boys.